What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Power Gamers Tactics Room. I'm your host, Bilbron Bafflestone. So today we're having another episode of my character build series, where I assemble characters level 1 through 20. And today we are doing the Echo Knight. This is going to cap off the 3-part Echo Knight segment of my larger 28-part fighter series, and I am very happy with this build. I think it's pretty clever, I think it's pretty lethal, and I promise you it's not just another iteration of Great Weapon Master Sentinel with a reach weapon and a barbarian dip. So let's jump right in and see what I've built here. So I have put the first level character sheet for Bilbron Echo Knight on the screen, and we can see the basic setup. Variant Human, Strength 8, Dex 16, Con 16, Intelligence 13, Wisdom 12, and Charisma 8. 16 AC with Scale Mail and Dexterity. We are going with the Rapier and the Longbow. Clearly the stats are set up for an Archer build, and we are taking Sharpshooter as our feat. Our fighting style will be Archery, and so of course we are a basic Sharpshooter at this level. We're just going to be shooting things and pumping out power attack opportunistically. The weird stats are for a later multi-class that I have in mind, and a little bit of a wisdom save bump just to close that hole in fighter wisdom saves a little bit. And I'm starting to realize that I just almost always favor ranged versus melee. I mean, it's just inherently superior. Come on, guys. Range plus archery fighting style, it's just better. At level 2, we add Action Surge, so now we're a basic sharpshooter with Action Surge. We're getting there, I promise. Level 3, we are officially Echo Knights. I presume we can afford half plate at this point to bump our AC to 17, and we add the Manifest Echo and Unleash Incarnation. So now that we have Manifest Echo, we are like, supreme at kiting. Nobody can touch us, and we just poke holes in everything. We'll use the Echo to gain the most superior environmental position from which to shoot, leveraging distance if we are unconstrained, or we will find cover, or we'll find an elevated position where it's safe from the melee. Whatever happens to be the best, we're going to show up there pretty much instantly because, hey, we're Echo Knights now. And if we are in a constrained environment where there just is no superior place from which to shoot, we can just huddle with the back line, throw up our Echo for half cover, and use it to kind of block the enemy. And if they get close to us, we can use it to disengage and get out of range. If we want to use Unleash Incarnation, we can do the bow attack action, then use Interact with Object to pull the Rapier, and then use Unleash Incarnation attack combo if we like. At 4th level is where things start getting interesting. We pick up a new feat, and I chose Magic Initiate Wizard to add 2 cantrips, Dancing Lights and Minor Illusion, and a 1st level spell, which will be Find Familiar. So there's no need to go with Crossbow Expert here. That's the standard progression, but Crossbow Expert is bad synergy with Manifest Echo because Manifest Echo uses the bonus action to both manifest and teleport, so we are rarely going to have an opportunity to throw out that bonus action attack from Crossbow Expert. Plus, we don't need the ability to fire from 5 feet away without disadvantage because we'll never be 5 feet away. We're Echo Knights. So at the last level, when we became an Echo Knight, we became elite at leveraging distance for kiting and environment for cover. Currently, our biggest tactical weakness is fighting in a constrained environment with no cover. Insufficient kiting space means our enemies can close with us and force melee, and they might actually do damage, which is not what we want. Our second biggest tactical weakness is versus enemies with a move greater than 30. They may be able to touch us every other round. And the third biggest tactical weakness is versus Obscurement, because that will prevent us from being able to use our Manifest Echo to create new echoes. So the first 2 issues are addressed by Minor Illusion, and the third is addressed by Find Familiar. Minor Illusion can create the illusion of total cover at will. So when we're too constrained to kite effectively, we can create the illusion of a crate or a boulder or what have you and get inside of it. It does take an action, and we would rather use our first round action for attacking, so only do this as necessary. But it has great synergy with the Echo, because you can attack from inside the illusion, and the attacks come out of the Echo. so it will not arouse suspicion. Nobody interacts with the illusion, and no one will be incentivized to investigate. They're going to be more incentivized to deal with the Echo that is cutting them down with arrows. The Echo can also stand in front of our illusion to provide half cover. With Find Familiar, we are going to be using the Owl so that it can use its flyby attack to provide the help action and give us an attack at advantage. We currently only have one arrow attack, so that's cool to get it at advantage since that will give us a huge boost to our sharpshooter power attack. And the Familiar will even be helpful when we have extra attack at next level, because hey, 1 out of 2 attacks at advantage is better than nothing. The Echo Knight can use his action to see from the Familiar's senses, so this also solves the problem of obscurement. If we need to, we can use our action to take over the Familiar's senses, and then use our bonus action to create a new Echo, and that way we can be up and running even under conditions of heavy obscurement. This also allows us to circumvent walls and such, even without direct line of sight, if we can get our Familiar in there and then use his senses. And because it's a Familiar, this Echo Knight will actually be good at scouting and only at 4th level. We don't have to wait until 7th to get Echo Avatar, which isn't as good. And we can use our Familiar to administer potions with the summon action. Since he's using his action, there's no penalty to our own action economy. See my Deep Dive Series Advanced Familiar Tactics video for further information on how to most leverage your Familiar. And I did consider Silent Image here, because that's pretty sweet as a ranged attacker to provide concealment and perfect obscurement, but it's only once a day, and it is slightly redundant with Minor Illusion, which essentially does the same thing, and I just prefer the all-day, always-on, always awesome benefits of Find Familiar. You're not going to find too many bigger fans of a Familiar in this game than I am. And then I added Dancing Lights because that's my favorite to address a lack of dark vision in a variant human, because it can also confer a tactical advantage in darkness by lighting up your enemies while you stay dark, and then I'm going to pincushion them. And since I'm a fighter, I don't have a lot of things that are vying for my concentration. In fact, I've got nothing else to use it on except Dancing Lights, so we're all good there. Then at 5th level, we add extra attack, so we're way more lethal, double damage since we're throwing out 2 arrows per round now, but no new tactical changes. And now at level 6, things start getting spicy because I am multi-classing into Artificer. This is going to add 2 cantrips, Guidance and Thorn Whip, and 1 first-level spell, which will be Fairy Fire. We also get Magical Tinkering. So Guidance is the best utility cantrip in the game. It's going to be Amaze Balls throughout my entire career. I am always super happy to throw Guidance into a build. Thorn Whip is a great cantrip that's going to allow me to create a pull effect if I want to, and that can sometimes be useful if the environment is in our favor, or if my party is throwing up a wicked AoE ability or something. And Fairy Fire is fantastic because that's going to get us attacks at advantage. In fact, it's going to get our entire party attacks at advantage, and that's not too easy to arrange in this game, but now we can Fairy Fire a BBEG and then just start smoking him with Sharpshooter. It is also fantastic against invisible creatures, of course. And now we can keep our Familiar in the backpack for the express purpose of applying potions. And if you want, you can switch to the Bat for Blind Sight. I probably would, but you might want to keep the Owl so that you can generate at least 1 attack at advantage every round, even if you don't have Fairy Fire going. And Magical Tinkering is okay. I can use it plus my Familiar to deliver recorded messages at long distance. And I gotta say, I kind of like the static visual effects thing in a role-playing sense. That is super cool. Like, you can display maps, you can show photographs of faces. You mean, hey, have you seen this guy? I mean, really lots of cool applications, so I do like it. Then at level 7, we're adding another level of Artificer to get infusions. We get 1 additional spell, which will be Absorb Elements, which is always nice as a defensive reaction. And we're getting 4 infusions, Repeating Shot, Mind Sharpener, Spell Rot Tattoo, and Enhanced Defense. But we are going to make Repeating Shot and Mind Sharpeners, because that allows us to upgrade our weapon to a +1 heavy crossbow, which is wicked cool and obviously a +1/+2 bump to attack and damage, so I'll take that. And ammo is no longer a concern. It just generates magical bolts anytime you need to. That is also super cool. I feel like this character is above foraging for bolts. And we are going to create a mind sharpener and give it to the party wizard. The party wizard never losing his concentration is a huge big picture win for us. Wizard concentration spells are the most powerful abilities in 5th edition. And as a party, if he never loses it, we are going to be way, way more effective. And I personally am going to benefit. So as an optimizer, I'm not going to try and add a personally beneficial, lame infusion. I'm going to take the best infusion and I'm going to give it to the character who can use it the best. And that means our party is more lethal and I am more lethal. That's how I roll. That's what we're doing. And if he doesn't want to, because maybe he's already got like 3 amazing items, then I'll go with the Spell Rot Tattoo or the +1 armor. The tattoo is probably my first option because you can make cantrips and first level tattoos. And so I'd probably think about a really good one. I don't know, Featherfall or something. But the Mind Sharpener should be really helpful. And I want to emphasize that because that's going to get lost as we start gaining in levels here and this build is going to be evaluated. And I just want to emphasize this character's party is way more effective than a different character's party because I'm willing to make and give a Mind Sharpener to another character in my party. Next, we get to level 8 and we become alchemists. I know that's something of a surprise, right? Alchemists mean we add Healing Word and Ray of Sickness, the right tool for the job, and Experimental Elixir. So Healing Word is always a nice add for a non-healing class, but Experimental Elixir is the big get here. Remember, potions can be applied by our familiar's summon action in round 1. That means we can gain their effects with no loss of our own action economy. We can still open with the attack action in round 1. And the Boldness Elixir has great synergy because it grants a +D4 to your attacks and saves for 1 minute. It's basically blessed that you don't have to concentrate on. And while the bonus elixir that you get every day is random, they're all pretty good, but you can choose to use a first level slot to create an elixir of your choice, which means that we will always have 1 or 2 boldness elixirs available every day. Maybe even 3 if we don't use Fairy Fire. So this is obviously an elite combo with Sharpshooter and Fairy Fire. We're now attacking with the Sharpshooter power attack at advantage and +D4 with our +1 heavy repeating crossbow. That's just a wicked visual, right? And the bump to saves is appreciated. That's going to help close the wisdom save hole that fighters have to deal with. And our fighter actually has pretty good wisdom saves because we have this and a wisdom of 12. And I want to point out the Alchemist was the only viable Artificer archetype because all the others cause massive bonus action clog. And that's not what we want when we're assembling a viable, playable character. In fact, that was a pretty common theme with other possible nips that I looked at. They tended to cause action or bonus action clog, so insufficient synergy with the Echo Knight. An ability sounds great on paper until you realize, hey, wait a minute, I need to use my action in round 1 to make it happen, and that means I didn't blow something up with Sharpshooter. So Alchemist really elegantly fits into this character's build in terms of action economy because it provides a powerful effect in round 1 and it didn't cost me any actions. I love the synergy between Alchemist, the Familiar, and the Echo Knight. And that's probably the last clever thing. Everything else is going to be pretty much the cookie cutter progression, but it is interesting to watch just how lethal this guy gets. At level 9, we add +2 dex. So now our ranged attack bonus is +11. That's pretty good at level 9. Level 10, we get Echo Avatar. And since we already have a familiar for scouting, this is not a great level for us, but we need to get through it to get to the good stuff on the other side. No new tactical changes here. At 11th level, I add Lucky, because Lucky is the strongest feat in the game, and I always try and add it relatively soon. And that's going to give us rerolls on our attacks, rerolls on our saves, and I probably shouldn't have to say anything else, right? Otherwise, no new tactical changes. Then at level 12, we get Indomitable, further closing that wisdom save hole, but no new tactical changes. At level 13, we add Shadow Martyr, which is a solid reaction. I'm happy to get it, but no new tactical changes. And then at level 14, we get extra attack ×2. So it's always fantastic to get that, but no new tactical changes. Level 15, we bump our dex again, so no new tactical changes. Level 16, we add another Indomitable, so no new tactical changes. At level 17, we get another ASI, so bump our Constitution, but no new tactical changes. At level 18, we get Reclaim Potential, which is going to add about 44 temporary hit points per day, so we are significantly more durable, but no new tactical changes. Then at level 19, we get our final ASI, so we're taking our con to 20. No new tactical changes, although we do get about 60 temporary hit points now from Reclaim Potential, so even more durable. And finally, at level 20, we get Action Surge ×2 and Indomitable ×3. Action Surge ×2 is obviously really awesome, so I feel pretty happy about achieving 20th level with this character, and I feel like that is an appropriate capstone for making it there. So that's it. That's my take on the Echo Knight. I think it's pretty clever, and I was able to find some really interesting synergies that really enhanced the Echo Knight's lethality and versatility, which wasn't easy because the core abilities of Manifest Echo are so good that it was just really hard to find something that synergized with it and didn't just kind of crowd it out or clog with it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear what everybody has to say about this particular build. And in any case, thank you so much for watching. This has been the Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Power Gamers Tactics Room. I'm your host, Bilbron Bafflestone. See you next time.